with something else to keep the defense off balance.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 38-yard line.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's
You
Kamara
couldn't go
again.
neither way. You couldn't go
Making his
neither
tracks
way.
behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
Won't give me this.
Carr now to throw. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked up by Kaiser White. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the Q.
Touchdown, Cardinals. James Conner. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the 3rd quarter. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there.
Back now here live in New Orleans, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. And this one setting up for a great finish, all tied in the 4th as the kick's away.
To the depth chart, bro. You got 6 for 34, 16 for 71. I gotta run a little bit more. They both got it toes though. Receiving, where he at? 3 for 23 for toes. I got 4 for 79 in toes. Let me see where Saints at. You got 4 for 79 in toes. Yeah.
And not willing to risk a return.
I'm a little bit more productive
to the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And this will wind up a Saints 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. A give to Williams, running right. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Carr. Dancing to his left. This is going to be intercepted.
He can slip.
And the Cards are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
Just watch me, bro. Just watch me.
I know, because you got the fuck out of me because I thought I got you.
Oh, no, I knew it. I'm like, yeah, you think I'm about that? I see this nigga back here.
I never even seen you start drifting that way, bro. I seen you trailing, bro. And I'm like, I got him back.
When games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Majors say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Flush to his right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes a correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the first down with his legs instead.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Touchdown! Marvin Harrison Jr. 46 yards. And the Cards have broken our tie and have taken a fourth quarter lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
To my column, my fucking face. We going. At first, I was going to make them scream all out. I'm like, no, fuck it.
And then following through, all the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Prater on to add the extra point.
I'm going to take that challenge. I'm definitely missing out.
It's up and good, and they've jumped back ahead, 35-28. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive.
All right, that's what I'm saying. I thought it was going to come other place.
It was a man that
you came back.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 33 and a first.
The evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double it.
A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses.
That should have been
against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
And we saw that advantage right there. From the gun, it's Carr. This is caught. Touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans.
Especially with that last play I just scored. That was
this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback.
First should
And
have
we'll
been
bring it
set.
out to the
I
30-yard line.
should have
Here's
thrown
the
it away,
Arizona
but I kept
offense
on
now
running.
as they
I'm
get set to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Yeah, they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
I ain't even trolling or nothing. That was
plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
You do shit like that, I got you.
Now Murray. This one deep for Wilson.
Got to.
Touchdown.
You do shit like that, I got to.
Michael Wilson,
too much time.
43 yards. And the Cardinals answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. So time for Carr and the Saints. Down by 7. A little over a minute and a half remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on 1st down. Here's Carr. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Gets around him. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Throwing his Carr. Being chased out left. And that is complete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
A little less than 40 seconds remaining. Here comes 2nd and 10. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
I said that last play. Right? I'm going to call it. I'm revealing.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Now Carr. A pass complete downfield. Number 2. As the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Here's 1st down. Carr. That's caught by Johnson. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Carr to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Partner, what a finish to this one. I mean, this offense, they had it down there inside the red zone, but ultimately couldn't execute that final snap to find the end zone.
Yeah, and they're going to walk away from this one, and you know what's going to go through their heads the entire time until they get to play again. If we could only have that final snap to do over one more time, maybe with a different play call.
This is looking like you and Breon game with us there. I thought you scored double 2. That's on the first one. wouldn't be right if I didn't do that. We could do the matchups all day. That's the good thing. I don't want to get to that. I want to you think with that, they think? I ain't gonna lie to that when I still have to win it. That last guy, I should play with him. You brought that? This could be a Super Bowl.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League. Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Jets, and it comes your way next.
No single building has played host to more Super Bowls than this one right here. The Caesars Superdome in the Crescent City of New Orleans. This is Super Bowl 59, and we've got an outstanding matchup on tap. The moment is upon us, and we've got what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion New York Jets taking on the NFC champions. Brennan Gaughan along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. I mean, this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, this is a club that's been put together largely through the draft the last few years. They've hit some home runs, and now here they are seeking their second Super Bowl title ever.
And while now it might be hard to believe in that first one, they were big underdogs. Super Bowl 48 to Peyton Manning and the Broncos in MetLife Stadium, and they were jet-propelled that day, and they'd like to be the same in this game.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And incomplete to open things up.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
Rodgers changing the play, it appears. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. Here's Rodgers. This one finds Wilson downfield. And a crossover out of bounds. is right at the 25.
I ain't gonna lie, like it's still gonna be good though, but we just stop.
Now Rodgers. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. To throw is Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. The first touchdown of the Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Jets put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. That time a 6-play drive, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading him out, the former Jet, playing against his ex-team, the 39th overall pick in 2013, drafted by those Jets, Geno Smith.
Didn't exactly cover himself in glory during his time with the Jets, 11 and 18 as a starter. Almost wonder if not going in the first round and having to come back that second day of the draft was a precursor about what was going to happen with him with the Jets. Plenty of talent, great mind, a football gym rat, but it never came all together while he was in New York.
And now he's on the other side. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Noah Fant, 64 yards. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice.
That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 54 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. Just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14. They'll run with Hall. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Touchdown, Jets. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets have taken the lead. Now Zuerlein on and the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a touchdown pass to Breece Hall. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein who'll kick it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 4. Sticking with Walker on second down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Gino now to throw.
This is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3 and out, and giving the ball back to their offense.
And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. Here we go on 4th. Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Straight ahead, Walker. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you start to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
He'll find Metcalf, pushing his way through. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now Gino. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off.
I saw what he would do that. I love the way they exposed it.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick 6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now 21-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Now a hit and a loose football. And it looks like the defense has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Throwing now is Rodgers. That is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball. But he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space. Couldn't uncover the end of the route. And that one winds up incomplete.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, in a tight game like this, that could be an incredibly important pick 6, CD. And remember, it cancels out the one that the opposition had earlier in this ball game.
You're right about that, partner, because each side came up with plays to swing the momentum their way. Still plenty of time left for either team to come through with a win, though. Can someone else make a similar play and win it for their club?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Now, the way things have gone so far tonight, I figured this was going to be a touchdown because he's wide open. But instead, the ball's laid out just a bit too far, and they come up empty.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Give him 32 on the play.
Wow, no pressure.
Rodgers to throw once more. Eluding the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Rodgers going to throw. That one taken in by Coleman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Now Rodgers. Forced out to his left.
I stay with him as long as I could, but I'm like, bro, if I don't go in, bro, he's gonna try some slick shit.
Now they gotta continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And will be intercepted. Picked up by Reek Woolen. Woolen ready to return it. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Second and 9. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll be taken down at the 18. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Throwing now is Geno. That is caught. And some room to work. Now he's loose at the 40. DK Metcalf. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. 82 yards. And the Seahawks are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point up and through by Myers. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The New York set to take the field. They'll need to regroup after the costly interception last time. It led to a tying touchdown. 21 all is where we stand, and they've got it 1st and 10. Rolling to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Flushed out right. Wiggles free. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll run with Hall. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And this one is incomplete.
He's put up numbers in this one. He also opened a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. Let's try a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
Now it's Rodgers. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Derek Hall able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls. But only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And it's accelerating, and off he goes. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for James.
Well, my man got beat up. We about to back right now, too. My man got beat up.
In the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. He's done his part, but so far it's been a losing effort, so they've got to fix something.
But that doesn't mean changing anything, the way they're throwing the ball around and his catches and production. Keep doing that. They're going to have to fix some things likely on defense to try and slow down their opponents.
Well, so far he's north of 100 yards receiving. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back to throw, Smith. That's some
good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
Smith. Flush to his right. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 39. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing is Smith. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Smith now to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Jets force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes you're fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate.
That's definitely key out. That's definitely key out. Bang, bang, my man.
Like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with the player? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room.
That's key out like this. The only reason he was able to get there because the other man banged James, my man, up.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from taking the lead in this Super Bowl. Myers connects on the PAT. And that will give him the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kicks away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by Trent Brown.
If he keeps tossing like that, he can be in the second.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And we're going to get a timeout. With 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. The final shot here before break. Smith. Finding Smith and Jigba downfield. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Here's Smith. A final shot before break. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. One of the greatest performances of the year usually, but not here. Halftime of the Super Bowl is skipped, and we are on to the second half. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff, and the first drive of the second half will commence.
It's like I went back to show you my recent plays.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And I think you have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased. Doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
On the give, here's Charbonnet. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Now Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the 3rd quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
You saw that wasn't me though.
Trailing here in the second half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up.
Automatic
if you're
first
going
down.
to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
Up the middle they run, it's Walker. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy.
But I'm not even
having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Walker. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 2nd and goal from the 1. Off of play action. Here's Smith. Touchdown, Seahawks. Kenneth Walker taking it in. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is up to 8. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys.
Oh, my goodness. Here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon. And the Seahawks are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shot. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's Smith. Escaping the pressure right. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down. Out of the gun, Walker with it. The tackle by Quincy Williams.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now a draw play. It's Walker. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. And Walker once more. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Holding. Offense.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes at that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Now quickly here to Smith and Jigba.
He thought he was about to get hurt.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Walker. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Now Smith. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Solomon Thomas. This is a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. If you think about it, that's a pretty important second-half field goal, Charles. That now stretches this to 2 possessions and really kind of ratchets up the pressure on that opposing sideline.
It certainly does, because that interception and adding a field goal to it, that puts them
touchdown,
in firm
field goal
control
block,
of this game right now. They're about one more big stop from putting this thing absolutely out of reach.
And now out come the Jets. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Giving it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw, and this is caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Devontae Adams, 47 yards. And the Jets have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast, we're able to be seeing in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us. Because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 right at the 30. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 72 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Back to Walker on 1st down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. C.J. Mosley getting to him behind the line of scrimmage there. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Smith. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 29-yard line. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Smith going to move him around. Now Geno. end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
From the gun on third down, Smith. He's got his running back in the backfield. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is second and less than a yard.
Is that not some type of pass interference or something, bro? He took my man out of the play completely.
By multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Now it's Smith. Steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big fourth down call.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do. Kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 8, 2:18 on the clock. And they have to have a touchdown to level this Super Bowl as they come up on first down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And bulldozing his way through.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Open man here is Conklin. And the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. First and 10. Oh, and that's going to sabotage the comeback. Picked up by Devin Witherspoon. And the Seahawks have just about sewn up this football game. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, that is intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it up, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now Rodgers. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Maybe a game-saving play on the knockdown there. That was beautiful, wasn't it? If you're looking at it from the defense's perspective, they looked like they had a shot at it, maybe a completion. Ball gets knocked away. Can they rise up and do it again?
To throw is Rodgers. This pass out wide to Hall. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. What a Super Bowl it's been to this point. Now a critical third down here. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a two-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go.
And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the fourth. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job one was taken care of. The two-point conversion to get this thing tied.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds.
That was about to hurt me.
They end up running a play out of bounds. They're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
They'll have to be careful how they handle this.
Listen, I ain't about
A little more than 40 seconds to play. Now 2nd and 10. Smith to throw. Escapes the sack. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken in by the tight end Fant. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Let me see, just to make sure I ain't tripping. The line right here, where that line at? That's it. Like I say, I know I'm not tripping. Like, what is we talking about? The nigga passed the line. Right there between the 3 and the O. Oh, no, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
I did. That's it. I'm going.
2 timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6 coming up. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. This undoubtedly the big... Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm like, that's why I said I ain't even gonna cry. Let me get this chance up here. You never know. You already know what's out here. You get the ball first. Oh, yeah. Can't see that replay though.
Last time we did that shit went right over his fucking hand.
I'm the reason I couldn't scoop it because he was going to scoop that bitch and score. But my foot was on it. Look, he was gone. 36. That was game. That would have killed you.
Oh, yeah,
That would have killed you. Walk off. Field goal block. Return. Game one time. Hey, that would have killed you. That would have killed me.
So it's the Seahawks who are going to get the first crack at things. They'll possess it to start things off here in overtime. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Well, CD certainly doesn't get any more exciting than this. Overtime in the postseason. Of course, keep in mind things are different than the old way it was. In the playoffs now, both teams guaranteed a possession, so a touchdown here if they get one, the ball game will not be over.
And partners, we both know many people called for this change before, and they finally got it after the Buffalo Kansas City Classic in the 2022 playoffs. Patrick Mahomes and KC, they scored first. Game over. Josh Allen and Bills never touched the football. People hated that. Now the game reaches OT. Every playoff team has a chance to fight to extend their season. So the plan has got to be, if you win the toss and you take the ball, reach the end zone and score, and put as much pressure on your opponent as possible to try and win a game in OT in the playoffs.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A nice start for them here to overtime, and maybe the plan here is don't do anything too crazy. Don't try for some big play, Charles. Just move the chains, put the pressure on the defense.
Well, these early first downs are certainly nice confidence builders as they begin overtime because even though you've just played 4 quarters, the feeling's entirely different when you take the field in OT because you just want to settle in, as you suggested, keep the ball moving, and rely on your opponent to make that first big mistake.
Here's Smith. Walker with a grab, left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. To the right side, this is Walker. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. They are into field goal range, but definitely thinking touchdown as they come up 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. And this turns into a nice game with a slide at the end. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Here's Walker. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Well, things now, Charles, looking pretty good here. A great opportunity to try to cash in for 6 on the opening possession of overtime.
And what I'm liking, Brandon, is what I see down on the sidelines. I see a defense huddled up and ready to go, already preparing for their opportunity to go on the field and close out this game.
And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds. Well shot.
I saw what he was trying to do. You saw the niggas in the back.
Chop that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
He got something in the middle. Well, what's his friend?
Gino now to throw. And he's got it. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Oh, and it's intercepted. And the Jets are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. That is just a gigantic interception here in overtime of this playoff game. And now, Charles, all they need is 3 to win it.
That's exactly right, because now, 1 possession, 1 field goal gets it done. They forced a lot of big turnovers in the regular season, Brandon, but none come bigger than that one right there here in the playoffs. They've got a chance to put this one away.
He dumps this one off here to Hall. And he's out right at the 25. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. Rodgers going to throw. On the out route, he completes it to Hall. And he'll be out right at the 35.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Rodgers with a keeper, and he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back.
What you thinking? You might come up with 5 hours or some shit. Why don't you fucking do 4?
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers.
Oh, boy, Rodgers.
Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. What a moment for him, a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick 6s over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick 6, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders. And
so don't whack him the fuck off.
Yeah.